We have just collected a new map, and it's hanging here behind me. And one of the most sort of interesting aspects of this map are the flags that you can see up here. This flag is called the five-colored flag, and you started to use it after 1912 when the last emperor, he abdicated. And you can see that on top you have the red color. This red color represented the bulk of the Chinese population, the Han Chinese. The next color, the yellow color, represented the Manchus that had just abdicated the power to the Republic when the Qing dynasty fell. The next color here, the blue color, were the Mongols, the white were the Muslims, and the black, the Tibetans. So these five colors, they represented the five biggest groups, like minority groups you could say, in China. We actually don't know when exactly this map here was made. We know that it was made at Langfang Touqiao, and that is not so far actually from the gallery of Beijing postcards. It was made right here in the Darshala area. But exactly when, it's difficult for us to know. But we can with almost certainty say that it must have been made between 1924 and 1928. And the reason for that is that here you can see that there is a red line. And this red line that I'm following with my finger, that was the tramway of Beijing, the first ever public transportation system in the capital. And that started to operate in 1924. The reason that we don't think it's much later than that is twofold. One is that you can see that the Huopingmen does not exist yet. The Huopingmen was a hole that you would make in the wall in the 1920s, and it has not yet been made. But another, maybe even stronger indicator is that these flags here, they were only used till 1928. Then you moved the capital down to Nanjing and started to use the nationalist flag that you actually still use in Taiwan today. Another couple of interesting points in this map is that inside of the Forbidden City, you can see that there is a little institution here, and it's called the Guoshiguan. And this place was where the Qing dynasty, they was writing the history of the Ming dynasty before them. And when the Republic took over from the Qing dynasty, the Republic would curiously also choose this location to write the history of the Qing dynasty, the last dynasty of China. Another thing of interest is this area that you can see right here. Right now we are up here in the Darshala area, but only a couple of 100 meters to the south, you can see that Beijing is pretty much ceasing to exist. This is pretty much the edge of Beijing. And here we find the Temple of Heaven and the Temple of Agriculture. The Temple of Heaven is very known. A lot of people have visited it, but this place here is less known. The southern part here actually still exists, but in the 1920s, this whole area here was torn down. And then you would start to have all kinds of entertainment establishments. And as you can see here, that had already started. You would also move the execution ground down here. And many of the actors and other performers and acrobats that had earned their money inside of the Forbidden City, they came down here and performed in the streets. You would have people doing acrobatics, people juggling, people doing all kinds of tricks. And that was why in this area that you started to have a saying that was 前朝的巴士，管说不练. And that means that the people of Qianqiao, this area, they are speaking more than they are actually performing.